Probably not safe to be. I know that firsthand. I've come on pit road. Whoa!
Whoa! BJ Mcleod saves that car.
That track was really dirty.
It was a lot of dust there up in the high lane and no grip. Wow.
So why was he in a high lane? Building speed up.
Exactly.
Right? Why wasn't he down in the groove and everything else? They run that outside line, coming to the green, making this track as big as possible, building that momentum, that speed for your big lap.
And that's what we've always done at Daytona and Talladega, but as you saw there, it got loose. He almost caught it and then didn't catch it.
Pretty hard. It may have some character to it.
Whoa. Oh, around goes Bell. Slides it down to the apron.
I'm telling you, I put that, as rigid as that car had no chance. As soon as it went, it was gone. Picks up that dirt on the right rear.
And he's just trying to get everything he can get. I mean, he's not trying to put himself in a bad spot right there, obviously. He's just trying to make the track as long as he can. But it's just, you see that dirt, and I would say the dirt was probably the biggest factor right there.
That car is by far the most rigid car that I've seen on the racetrack, though. I agree. Obviously, you watch a replay and you see a dirt, trail, bomb trail coming off that right rear. But you can't longer there.
He enters turn 3 higher than anybody since BJ Mcleod.
Yeah, I agree. And that's why we saw the dust, because nobody has been that high on the entry in turn 3. So pretty much virgin racetrack at that point. And
see if I can get there. Oh, there's going to be contact on the front. There it is. That was Layne Riggs that just didn't have room to come up in front of Tanner Gray, I believe.
Look at what happened.
It was a run from the outside from Gray, and Layne Riggs just moved up and there wasn't room there.
Tough break for teammates as well.
Wow.
Layne Riggs was running 14th at the time. Christian Eckes is nice and calm out front, but not so much back in the pack. Problems for the one truck.
Trying to make some ground. Well, on the outside, Tanner Gray tries to get above Layne Riggs. Right there, that move from the truck, and Layne just squeezed over. Tried to make sure he took his line away, kept everyone behind him, and there just wasn't room to do so.
We always talk about how important the spotters are, but probably no more important than they are at a place like this, especially on a mile and a half when they're doing
contact.
See, Bret's coming in his pit. Pretty significant contact right there, and that's the problem when you come in and do fuel only.
See him right there coming in the screen on the bottom, right on the.
Looks like he loses the nose and chases it up the hill.
Yeah, I think maybe he got too low on that white and red line, and it made him shoot up the hill, and then he tried to cut it to keep it off of the 9 truck of Colby Howard, and around it went. And man, looked like he was maybe going to slip by without hitting the wall, but both left front and left rear hard into the wall, and that's going to end his day.
A lot of discussions going on right now.
I don't think there's any discussion. I think they all come to pit road for sure. There's another look. As you mentioned, Michael, he turned it left to try to avoid Colby Howard. It's great that we can have a single truck incident here without getting a whole bunch of other trucks involved, and they get some minimal damage to the front end of that truck.
Akinori makes a few starts here and there, and was really thought that was a beautiful truck too. Thought he had
a tight exit.
See, a situation again when you're going to do fuel only, you're on pit road so little time.
And you really rely on your spotters and even your crew chief. Your crew chief needs to know who's around and who's where. There's nothing absolutely at all Corey Heim did wrong there. He went when he was told to go. And with the other truck coming in, you just got to have situational awareness, whether it's Colby Howard not turning in or the crew chief spotter telling him what to do. But you can see this affected Stuart Friesen as well.
Very little damage, it looks like, on Friesen, but he gets blocked in.
Really good run for Chase Purdy. John Hunter Nemechek in the 17.
Look at the damage on Corey Heim. Corey Heim's damage is more than likely going to be terminal.
Bring it straight to the box. Bring it straight to the box. Let them clean the grill.
And remember, the reason he's back there is because of the contact on pit road. He would never been in that position.
When they wait, there's gaps in the back, and those guys get runs, and there's a sign of it. Except for the 2 didn't really go.
He didn't really go, and then the 11 was being pushed into the 2.
Yeah.
You can see all the damage, oil coming out of that truck as well.
You almost wonder if Nick Sanchez missed a gear. I thought maybe he was laying back, but it looked like he started to take off and then did it. See if something happens there. Yeah. And it just piles them up behind.
It's amazing that Nick Sanchez basically hardly has any damage to the back of that truck.
He went under him.
And Corey Heim's truck is destroyed.
I don't know that he's gonna. Yeah, you see him falling back there.
Yeah.
He just missed a shift or something. Something broke on the truck. Just didn't go, and there was nothing Corey Heim could do.
And the spotters say they're all rolling, but it happened so fast, there's no way for the spotter to warn it.
Smoke looking.
He has one of the best in the series behind him at 38 of Zane.
Looks like a push out of line there.
Smoke, there's some damage right there.
That's Dean Thompson, the 5 truck, with some smoke from the right front, and he's into the outside wall.
Keep it up there, keep it up there, keep
cut
it up
down
there,
that
keep
right
it up
front
there.
tire.
Caution down.
Yeah, you saw the debris going flying off Jack's truck. You see the 5 truck there in the middle of our screen. Oh, Lawless Allen squeezes him into the fence.
And that's going to cut a tire down.
That's such a shame.
Yeah, he gets into turn 3 and the tire's going to go down. Right front tire's going to go down.
I mean, he didn't do anything wrong. He just tried, you know, just close racing and gets cut off and it put him in the wall.
There's a lot more take and a lot less give when we get inside of 40 laps to go here.
I'd be surprised if they.
Stuart Friesen has made a 3rd line down.
Oh,
trouble. Smoker. The 51 Jack Wood goes around. Grant Enfinger.
What in the world?
Was it a push gone bad or something?
17 gets behind you, spins you out.
Push gone wrong is what that is.
Got over on the left side of the bumper.
Oh.
Great job by Christian Eckes slipping by there. Just cat-like reflexes making those moves at 180 miles an hour.
Well done by Eckes and by Jack Wood.
Absolutely.
And John Hunter's excuse will be he's inexperienced. He didn't handle the push well. But sometimes the grisliest of veterans can't handle a push that comes off that left rear.
Yeah.
The left rear is a very, very
sensitive area for a push.
Get a bird's eye view of it here.
Christian's going to have an eyeful right here. Jack just spins down in front of him.
Oh, wow. Squeezed up. 4 trucks there kind of glued together. Carson was running in 13th position and it just went wrong back there. It looked like, you know, I said trucks slipping around, sliding up. That looked like maybe what happened there. He got slid into.
That's the 45 of Lawless Allen.
Matt Crafton, did he avoid damage? It looks like he did.
$11 laps to go. It's go time, right?
Yeah.
Oh, Daniel Dye, nice job getting out of NASCAR overtime.
Oh boy.
Carson Hocevar with no rear spoiler. Those are so difficult to drive when that happens.
I mean, hardly anybody can drive.
I don't know of anyone that could hang on to one of them like that. There it is to the top.
Ben Rhodes to the outside, making it 3 wide, coming out of turn 4. Trucks in the wall.
Keep digging.
Side by side, Nick Sanchez sideways. Christian Eckes wins the race, hangs on to it. See how it happened.
Oh, getting pushed was Ankrum from Chase Purdy, and that just sent them up the hill, and they all ran out of space.
Yeah, Zane in the 38, Friesen in the 52, all involved.
Matt Crafton doing a nice job down off the racetrack, slipping by. And look at that battle up front. There it went.
Matt DiBenedetto doing a nice job avoiding that by going by on the inside. That's probably going to result in a top 5 finish for Matt.
What about a top 10 for Timmy Hill squeezing through there in the 56 truck?
Let's see what happened here. I believe it's in the back of your screen here. Oh.
It looked maybe something broke or something. It was kind of like in the middle of the straightaway.
It looks like something happened to the 66. He came down and hooked the 53.
66 Cesar Bacarella making his first start of the season. Co-owner of Alpha Prime Racing is Cesar Bacarella with Tommy Joe Martins. He will race from time to time.
Something happened there to his 66. So
3, all about Joe Gibbs Racing. Here's what's brought out our first yellow flag of the afternoon.
Clear him to get back up. Now, if he wasn't able to clear him there, he was going to be in trouble. You know, being stuck on the bottom.
Trouble.
Oh, we got a big wreck here.
26 Kaz Gralla, 4 Garrett Smithley. Second caution of the day.
I'm telling you guys, these cars are a handful right now. I mean, low temperatures, nobody knows exactly what they got. These cars are so difficult to drive right now.
Well, the wreck's already started here. It kind of went up the racetrack. There's the 4. Kind of know where to go. Once you commit to a lane, you're kind of committed. And for the driver, it's hard, right? Like right there, look at, you can't even see the 4 in the smoke. That means he can't see where he's going either. And so he's 100% relying on the spotter. Coleman, what's that like for you?
Well, obviously, it's a very difficult situation. With the high banking, you kind of look at it as a Bristol-type incident that it's going to funnel down. But because they wrecked so low, the momentum carried them up the track. So that's a 50-50 split decision. I get it. That's a tough position to be in, and unfortunately, he caught the bad end of it.
I mean, you got to say something, right? Like, yeah. you got to say something. And sometimes, I mean, see what happened there. You see him there on the top side, gets loose, get in the corner, and just around she goes. Collecting the 27 there.
There's Jeb Burton in the 27.
Here's another view. You see him, that yellow car in the top, just steps out on him pretty early in the corner.
Seems to me that whoever was behind the 0-2, he was on his left rear.
See this wreck at the end of the stage. Looks like it's already started here.
91 is Chad Chastain, making his first ever start in the Xfinity Series, younger brother of Ross. And the 35 is Patrick Emerling. Emerling lost his teammate earlier when Joey Gase crashed. And the 91 of Chastain is a teammate to Josh Williams, and the 92 for Mario Gosselin. So both of those teams having their fair share of problems today.
We'll see, he's kind of back here by himself. It just blew out by itself there. Which you gotta.
Oh, he got lucky.
He got some style points for not hitting the wall there.
Yeah, he got very, very lucky. Like he didn't hit anything.
It makes you think that something probably obviously cut the tire down, probably from the damage that was there before. As you turn in, there it goes.
And also in the worst possible spot on entry of the corner. I mean, nothing you can do right there.
Like I said, he didn't hit the wall that hard. It's going to be interesting to see if this works. He's up trouble when they wreck.
Connor Mosack, 24-11 is Daniel Hemric, the 2021 Series champion. Oh my, Mosack slides back up onto the racetrack, and that could have been a dangerous situation.
That was how he just get loose.
Yeah, we said how hard these things are to handle. And
I think the 11 is going to be fine. I think they're going to be able to just fix a little bit the front, the nose, and he's going to be able to continue. But the 24 is definitely out of the race. Yeah.
For Mosack, it was his second consecutive start for Sam Hunt Racing. His first 2 starts on an oval in the Xfinity Series. Last week at Phoenix, today here in Atlanta. He'll drive the road course at COTA next week. Much more of his driving style, and it's been a tough day for Sam Hunt Racing. Early crash for Casgrala. He is out of the race, and it certainly would appear his teammate's going to join him in the 24.
They shorten up the back of that car.
From right around 10th on back. Jeremy Clements, blue 51 outside lane, pushing the 8, and there goes Justin Allgaier.
Teammates.
Into the wall. 9th caution of the day.
Boys.
And that will end stage 2. He was racing for 6th on track. Stage victory. It'll be his first.
It's a tough one, man. I mean, I felt like the 7 didn't know that he had 2 cars on his outside, and he just moved a little bit. That was it.
That's a tough angle to call exactly what happened there.
You think about Allgaier, started the year with 3 consecutive top 3s, wins both stages last week, gets a DNF, and he'll do the same today.
It looks like the 8 made a move to get to the middle there, and the 7 didn't know it.
Yep.
There's another view of it. See, the 8 kind of moved down at the same time the 7 was coming up, and just the timing of it and things happening so quick. I mean, I hate to see what happened here. Oh, he's already sideways. Another one sideways.
Yep. Kyle Sieg was there, and you know, we were talking during the break about Sammy Smith. He got that penalty, restarted outside the top 20, hadn't made any ground, maybe
here for the 48. He's going to have a big run from that push in the 98. Caution out.
Our caution.
Caution, 8 laps remaining. It's our 11th caution of the day. That's a new record at Atlanta, and this time it's out for the 31 of Parker Retzlaff, the rookie out of Wisconsin.
See off in the distance, he got loose, and then, ooh, pretty good hit to the right front into the wall in the corner like that.
You know, this caution could be a good thing for those drivers that had been out longer, because the caution lap's obviously better on your fuel mileage. Help from Brett Moffitt. Daniel Hemric shoving Austin Hill down low.
Oh, no!
Sideways. Can they hang on? Austin Hill wins once again. He goes back to back here in Atlanta as they crash across the start-finish line.
I feel like he was sideways for a mile.
48 was able to get, but just no help, and that's where Hemric was able to, he kind of slid up into Kligerman there. Kind of finished him off too there. It kind of stinks at it. After all that, it's got to end up in a big pile of carnage, right? Unfortunately, there's a lot of cars torn up in this one. You see the 11, he just kind of slid up the racetrack. He kind of gets underneath the line and straightens out the wheel a little bit, and just everyone ran out of real estate, unfortunately, and tore up a lot of.
Kyle Busch back in 18th position, right about, oh, trouble.
Bubba Wallace in the wall. Way too early for this, 10 laps in.
Wallace was running 19th.
Yeah, all by himself. And early in the race like that, he probably knew before that instant that he was loose and was probably having to guard it. He probably moved to the top side, not only for the speed, but if your car's loose, you move up, you're not tugging on the wheel quite as hard.
Here's his DoorDash onboard cam.
You hear him pedaling it. That baby come out from underneath of him. You heard him starting to pedal it with the throttle. The rest is history. Turned him right around. Now you're going to hear a lot of frustration if they open that radio. The engine, unfortunately, ended up on the wall.
Sit there and wait any longer to the end of the race to start working your way up there and trying to establish that track position. You gotta go now.
I want to hear Tim Fedewa. Let's.
Whoa! He got turned by Chastain, and around they go.
Your brake.
Kyle Busch is around.
Josh Berry, Busher into the wall. Josh Berry, a lot of damage on the front of the 9. That's all it took. We were just fixing to say, let's listen in to Tim Fedewa, talking into this blocking situation. The one got hard into his left rear and just turned him around. Harrison Burton, toe link broke in the right rear.
First 2 cars on the inside.
Well, look at the gap. First and foremost, closing in on him pretty hard. It wasn't on his left rear, though. Kind of moved across the rear bumper, I will say that.
He did a good, he closed in at such a high rate going into turn 1. It wasn't like he just went in there and drove into the back of the 4 car. He got it woed down, but he was there and trying to give that push. And it just, like you said, he started on the right side, and then as it moved to the left side, that's when the car switched.
I think that's just aggression picking up. And as he did, I think his thought was right, got on the right rear. I don't think it obviously wasn't intentional. And when he got to him with that head of steam, it got Kevin starting to get sideways, and by the time it was all said and done, now you're on his left rear, Tony, and where you really don't want to be, and look at the disaster.
All right, here's the Advent Health cam and radio in Ross Chastain's car.
There's the right rear.
Any damage? No, sir. I didn't touch him. I'd be saving gas under caution.
Bubba Wallace.
Check apart, check apart.
But he didn't touch him like we thought and slammed into him and turned him around with aggression.
It is so close, and even if he did touch him, I'm going to say he touched him. He didn't slam him by any means if he touched him at all. But like you mentioned, you saw that car of Chastain start from the right rear corner, and when it went to the left side, that's when it freed his compartment.
They were running 1-2. Here's a look at it.
Blew a tire. You heard Larry tell us 45 laps on them tires. Long ways to go. The only ones that stayed out. Blew a right rear tire right in front of the field. Took out Larson.
Those were 72 lap tires on Almirola's car.
The ambulance. Frustrated, obviously. Right in front of him, right in his lap. Nothing he could do. Tried to check up. Man.
But importantly, Larson walked away.
That's right.
Yes.
Yeah, because this is a big hit when this swings around driver's side of the safer barrier.
Aric Almirola out of his car, and he appears to be okay. Oh, Daniel Suarez. Justin Haley involved, Tyler Reddick as well.
It knocked the wind out of me. I don't know how it can keep going this way for us, boys. You keep bringing me fast race cars. One of these days we'll get the finish. Sorry.
That was Aric Almirola.